Hello my friends of WildRift, and today we are going to take a look at a Pentakill on Ezreal. I have two gameplays lined up for you. First one comes this, another one comes after with slightly different builds, so you'll have two builds that you can test out to your heart's content. And now we just talk about the video. We see a Xayah Yuumi lane into a Janna Ezreal lane. You see the Yuumi is detaching early on to just deal a lot of extra damage, and all of them are auto-attacking each other. Nobody's just backing off from the get-go. The issue though is, the HP bar seems in pretty much favor for the Ezreal here, but in reality, if the Xayah doesn't die, the Yuumi will sustain her. The only thing that needs to happen is the Xayah needs to auto-attack things for the Yuumi heal to actually come through. Now, the issue starts to happen. You see all the sustain, it's coming through every 8 seconds. And without the jungler capitalizing on the low HP bars, they'll slowly sustain, and even see the Janna is now going for rotational play to the Lee Sin, trying to get some early action going here. And now the Xayah, even though she took fruit, is now substantially more healthy than, well, the Ezreal. And yeah, how's your recent experience? How was your recent experience against Yuumi lanes? Like, what happened? Ooh, nice turn here on to the Xayah. Nice knockup by the Janna, really carrying this play. He dies to the probably Scorch or whatever it was. Really nice, but now the Wukong flashes over. Will this be a kill? Flashes away. That will be a kill onto the Wukong unless he... Ooh, very close one. Ooh, the targeting issues. Ooh, this is one auto... The one auto attack he just unfortunately placed onto the minion nearly came back to bite him, but the bone plating came up again. Oh, the wave's in a terrible spot, but there's not much you can do about this. However, he has a very big item spike right now. Let me get to the idea of asking you, hey, what are your recent experiences against Yuumi lanes? I'm just like, personally, I despise this champion, and if you're watching the Zoo tournament, like the tournament I'm casting, you see there's an absurd priority on Yuumi, and this champion is constantly winning games. It actually grinds my gears. Please ban this champion, I hate it. However, if you play Legendary Queue and you see this champion, well, most of the time you just lose because you have this champion, because, well, she's not the most, rotational champion, to say the least. And against Yuumi lanes, the same always applies. If you cannot kill them instantly, they will out-sustain you, and then they will automatically win. You see this trait here. In the end, in the long term, unless somebody comes around the corner and capitalizes on these HP differentials, they'll just heal up again. Something that Xayah players or Yuumi players really need to do, like you see nice combo here, Yuumi detaches to catch the can power the second ability of Ezreal. What Xayah players need to do, or Yuumi players need to do, is once they get the healing buff, they can just quickly look at the jungle camps and collect them. Nicely dove here. Yuumi probably had to detach a little bit earlier to just catch at least one skill shot, but yeah. The Xayah is having a really rough time this game, but the Ezreal and the Janna are playing very well together. And if you want to see like more of this gameplay, check out the description below. I always attach all the gameplays I watch in the description, so you can take a look for yourself. Learn by yourself, just watch it in your own time. Maybe you just don't like what I'm yapping about, you know, the typical things. And yeah, massive spike again. Having a Tear of the Goddess, ooh, delaying the mana immune, very interesting choice here, something I usually not see, because if you think about this, isn't the Coffee's Hammer just straight up more damage? Because right now you're just kind of winning and you want to put more emphasis on winning. And the Sheen is more poke, and is more poke really the thing against the Yuumi full sustain lane? That is like the question. Nice little combo here, barely chipping away at the Xayah's HP. Xayah is popping her spells, running in circles. Quick little combo onto the Janna, dealing a lot of damage. You see there's slowly chip damage coming in. And very important that the support, like the Janna, bought anti-healing, because you do not want to buy anti-healing on an 80 carry very early, because you don't want to spend that much gold. Ooh, Wukong coming in, beautiful tornado by the Janna, denying this play from happening. Now they turned around, the Lee Sin comes around the corner. Ah, sadly the ultimate only hits one person. The Xayah goes in very interestingly and just instantly gets taken down. What is happening in that Xayah's head? She is fuming. She is not having a fun time during this laning phase. And this will spell billions of gold into the pockets of the Ezreal. What a heartbreaker. Lee Sin already back into his jungle, already farming up, and here we see just more gold, like 130 gold left. They really want to stay until they have the mana immune completion. They're just chipping away at this tower, and now we reach a point where you can just recall, because the the gold you need for the item is already so close that once you recall, the time you spent by recalling and then staying in base for mana will just be the time you need anyway. Ooh, the recall was cancelled. That's a heartbreaker. With the cancelled recall, it's a massive tempo loss. However, one could argue that at least they now won't lose a plate. But yeah, he will not be available for a dragon fight with an item. He barely has any mana, which means if there's a fight, he will not be a factor in that fight. So yeah, and Lee Sin appears to be giving up on the Herald, even though they're hardcore winning. Taking the Infernal Soul here will be a potential precursor of getting the Infernal Soul. But again, it's a massive investment because you have to make sure you get all the dragons, which is very unlikely. But Infernal Soul, let me put it this way, Infernal Soul and Ezreal kinda do be slapping different, especially also on Lux. Now the Lee Sin is behind the tower, jumps close, really scary here, he will certainly die. Zai didn't even need to ult early, now yeah, Lee Sin, you just can't do this kind of stuff, you just really can't. That is something you just can't do. And yeah, now the Xayah is showing her wave clear capabilities. Ooh, look at the damage coming in though. They just get away with taking the tower since the Xayah didn't clear the minion wave, and yeah. This Ezreal is ridiculously fat, and we see that the Janna is very good play. She is skipping out on going boots and anything else, and just straight up goes for Harmonic Echoes. See, that is what I love. That is something that's very potent. Like, if you're an Enchanter player, let's just please look into this. I've been preaching about this ever since Harmonic got reworked, and sadly, not many of you are listening. Unlucky. Anyway, thinking about her itemization in general, she built an Oblivion Orb as well to just make sure that the enemy doesn't capitalize on too much healing, because Yuumi has good healing capabilities, and just spending that gold on the support is not as a lot as much of a loss. Now the Ezreal rotates around the map because he wants to take advantage. What a kick the Lee Sin. Well, if this okay, Zoe dies anyway, but still. The Ezreal rotates around the map to take down other towers. Alternatively, instead of going there, you could have gone to the Baron lane, because there the enemy doesn't really have any wave clear capabilities. It's just not possible. Whereas the Zoe, she kind of has, but there's at least risk involved. And now the Janna turned into the I press second ability, third ability, perma. Like, that's all she will do the entirety of the game. And now they're rotating again, collecting every piece of gold on the map, farming every single plating there is available, always trying to also use your abilities onto minions to get up that passive, because the passive on Ezreal grants you attack speed, and you really do not want to miss out on free attack speed. Also, worthy of note is that he is running, that he just instantly completed a Trinity Force. He was cancelled, if I'm seeing this correctly. Ooh, this will be a free kill, nicely aimed here, but now the Wukong is on the run, coming after this Ezreal. Will he catch up to him? Flashes away, but still gets chased down. The Yuumi ult connects. There's a tower here, but he'll probably not get away. The Malphite just baited them into certain demise for no reason. They just made so much gold. They made so many winning, like so many winning plays happened. And the Malphite, for whatever reason, just went in. And yeah, this entire thing turned into an absolute disaster. Lux also died previously on side lane against the Xayah, which is a very interesting thing, because all that Lux has to do is just clear the wave. Lux ulting, probably trying to steal the blue buff. But yeah, he completed Trinity Falls early simply because he had the gold, which means that he has a very big item spike, because Trinity Falls is a very expensive item. And then afterwards he went for Mana Mune. The good thing about Mana Mune, or delaying your Mana Mune on Ezreal, you're spamming spells every single time, and every single time you leave base, you can just spam spells regardless, allowing yourself to just farm it up very quickly. And if a Zoe uses all her spells in front of you of an ally, just turn on her and kill her, because the Ezreal just did that one outside of the fact that he didn't kill her, but he instantly turned on her. Nice little ultimate here, dealing a lot of damage. Method ults and kills the Zoe. The Wukong comes from the left-hand side, goes in, will probably ult here, ults, but the Janna ults him away. Nicely Q on the Xayah. The Lee Sin's not very close, kills them, but now the Ezreal is in a very rough spot, and the Aatrox nearly one-taps him. 616 damage or something with the third Q. And you really hate this. Ooh, and trying to flash in the combo, and they'll still fall. It's an absolute bloodbath here, and this entire thing has been facilitated through that one play by the Malphite on the bottom side of the map, which granted the enemy so much gold that they were, well, sent back into the game. But it's still fun. If you just take a look at the bottom left, since we'll have a few minutes or a few moments to talk about this, he's running Kraken Slayer, very powerful combo. Auto attack, Q auto attack, procs Kraken Slayer, brutal procs on every single auto attacks. Giant Slayer is broken as hell. Alacrity adds even more attack speed to the mix, since you have more sources of Omnivamp now, you're not forced to take Bloodline, and Bone Plating is a very powerful laning rune. Gluttonous Greaves are very good on your champion. Manamune is key. Ooh, they lost the dragon. So they lost the Infernal Soul condition. This ultimate will be an absolute banger. Hits them. But the Aatrox hits another spell here. The Q3 hits many people. Now they are on the back turn. What is going to hit? Another Aatrox hit. He's really spacing poorly into the Aatrox, taking so much damage from him. But now turning back, using the Q flash to get one kill. But now the Zoe will probably be taken down. No, he can't reach. Ooh, this fight was very, very messy. I believe it could have been played a lot better. And they even lost the dragon. Do you think the guys will be in there? Let me know. Any recalls? Ah, sad. And by the way, how do you view this new skin on Ezreal? I personally think it looks so much worse than the alternatives you have. Like, look, you have Heartsteel Ezreal. But obviously, everyone has their own taste. But from your perspective, do you think this skin is an upgrade towards the Heartsteel Ezreal, or do you think it's just a worse skin? Just let me know. Wukong coming up from the left-hand side, we have the Zoe on the right side, we're getting sandwiched, but the Xayah walks too close. Wukong comes in from behind, ults in, but is caught instantly by the Lux and instantly taken down. We're seeing a flash on the sideline. Malphite is now walking in front of them, having no ultimate available anymore. This game could be very much over in the few seconds. We see another Aatrox comboing in. The sleep connects onto the Ezreal. Manages to not press his ult before it falls asleep, because you can always buffer through CC, so at least have some active time. Ooh, close one. But yeah, Ezreal ultimate is one of the abilities that unless you die during casting it, nothing can cancel it. So if you know that you're getting slapped by Zoe, or any type of CC is going to hit you that you can't avoid, then you can cast your ultimate ability, which then if the enemy will go onto you, which is most likely going to be the case, they will at least take some damage, or you at least don't have downtime. Now the next idea about why he has Riftmaker. Riftmaker as an item grants you Omnivamp. Ezreal has two sources of damage, which is magical and physical. He deals a lot of both. This way he has even more healing capabilities. Not only this, because Riftmaker's bonus damage, the true damage, is calculated from the pre-mitigated damage, meaning it deals a lot more damage than just 9%. Ooh, nice engage by the enemy team. The Aatrox gets very close. He shifts away. The ultimate comes in. He tries to snipe there, but the Wukong's already in the backline. Jenna had to force the ult away. Ooh, now they don't really have any way of checking this objective anymore. If the enemy chooses to walk in there, it's getting really difficult. We see Ajana getting slapped by the Zoe, but she doesn't have the damage to get her killed. Nearly trading her life in this. Ooh, no, the Zoe kills her with the second rotation. Now it's really difficult, like who's gonna check the objective for them? Okay, they have a ward down, everything is okay. Picking up the red buff. And it's getting really, really problematic here. The enemy team has a very strong composition that when they snowball, or well, scale, let's put it this way, there will be big difficulties. Because look, the Malphite is a full AP Malphite, so he will never be able to deal with the Aatrox sideline as long as the Aatrox gets a few HP items. The Lee Sin tries to make work of what he can, but he has to be very careful because the enemy team has very interesting champions. They have Crown on the Zoe, they have a Xayah, so it's very risky for the Lee Sin to get anything done because most of them can just, well, avoid certain death instantly. Now the enemy goes for a very interesting rotation. They just recall on the spot. We see two people on the other side of the map. This would call for a Baron situation here if you want to, because the next dragon is completely not relevant. It's no soul for either team. They're not using the time they had with spotting all those recalls on the map, and now they're just basically doing the typical ARAM thing when nobody's going sideline. The Aatrox was previously in the sideline taking care of a few waves, but yeah. Need to be really careful. Nice combo by the Lux, but barely does any damage. Very late Veil by the enemy Yuumi. Hate to see that one, and barely did any damage in the first place. Also, if the enemy team picks up any kind of magic resist, life is very difficult because they have such a high magical damage profile. Wukong going in, going for a combo to the Malphite, gets caught, pops to Zhonya's. Malphite dies instantly on the spot, and now it's an absolute massacre. The Aatrox goes in, sleeps on the Lee Sin in stasis, but instantly dies after. Ultimate hits multiple people, they are on the turn now. Beautifully played by the Ezreal, playing it very carefully on the backline. Kills another person, and here we have a pentakill, and just the QSS for style points. He just made sure to turn the game on its head on his own without anyone else. He basically used his teammate as a frontline or as a dummy to make sure that he will be able to deal the damage, which is something most AD carries need to understand. You are not the frontline, you need to be able to deal damage, but you need to be aware of what's happening to deal said damage. Otherwise, you just doom yourself into relevancy, like for example that one fight before the Dragon, if you remember correctly, where he was hit by multiple Aatrox Qs, where he just was not really doing something, or not doing as much as he could have done. He's also opting for a crown, not to be instantly engaged on. I think... Oh no, he's going for a blade, so the bottom left thing might be wrong unless he changes it a little bit later. Blade of the Ruined King with all the HP items in the game with Heartsteel, etc. gains a lot more value, also with Riftmaker. Ooh, we see another fight coming up, going in for a little poke ultimate. Can't know if it hit anything. He needs to be really careful. He has QSS available, so the Zoe can't just... Oh, Zoe, you just made a big mistake. You just do something like this and you instantly died. He instantly died. Fernando Wukong's also on the move. The Aatrox goes in, flash combo, but he flashes away as well. But now the Aatrox, he deals so much damage, but he also takes so much damage. Now the Zaya's trying to kill the Malphite. 1 HP Zhonya is popping a Featherstorm in front of him, killing him. The Lee Sin jumps in, kills him. The Yuumi and the Aatrox are the only living people. Will he hit the ultimate? Will he kill them? Ah, he doesn't hit it. Sad. So what does he actually go for? Is it a Nash's Tooth? Is it a Crown? Is it a Blade of the Ruined King? What is it going to be? Because I need to know to give you the guys oh well, I just give you the reasoning anyway because they're killing the Purple Worm. Nash's Tooth adds a lot of bonus magic damage. Very good if the enemy team has high physical resistances or you just lack magical damage. Also grants you ability haste, good attack speed, and decent adaptive stats. Blade of the Ruined King grants you a lot of physical bonus damage, which is helpful against high HP targets, such as, for example, a Scion with Heartsteel, or all the champions that have Heartsteel and stack it up to, like, grotesque values. Crown of the Shattered Queen is very good if the enemy team has a reliable way of getting on top of you, or you just want to play more aggressively. That's basically the idea. Now he sells this, and okay, so he probably bought the item for the biggest power spike at that time, and then swapped it back. Okay, makes sense, I guess. 15-2 and 4, really big performance by the Ezreal here. Now, looking for the next potential play, the Janna picking up the blue buff, making sure to have enough mana to spam the shielding, spam the movement speed, just make sure to use full value of her kit, even have has a Zeke's convergence to well, let the Ezreal do more damage. Because the moment she pops ultimate, fundamentally speaking, the enemy should be in this array, and then they'll be able to go for a play. Big damage by the Ezreal. Now the Wukong is dealing with the Malphite in the side lane. Can the Malphite even stop the Wukong? Elder has spawned and the Aatrox is with the Yuumi. Goes close, gets exhausted instantly. The Lux is walking too close, getting really hands-on here. Aatrox in the pit, the ult is about to time out if he doesn't get a reset. Big damage by the Aatrox, nice snipe onto the Xayah who didn't regen up or got hit by too much poke. And now it's just a question, who gets the Elder and what is happening in the meantime? Ezreal is still full life. He's always looking for side lane, sleeps all the time, but now gets caught in a very bad situation. Jumps over the corner, tried to go for too much of a play, and now the enemy is giga low HP. Yuumi and Aatrox still looking for it. The Wukong's also in the middle of the fray down there, flashing away from the Janna as we see on the minimap. The Janna is a furious one. The Tempest actually is chasing it down. Now the Ezreal goes for the flank. The Aatrox without the ultimate doesn't really have a gap closer. The crown is popped by the Yuumi Q. No, comes back with the ultimate again. The ultimate came up again. Aatrox is now in a pickle. He has to run away, but nicely done collecting the Elder Dragon, and now they just have to run down mid lane to get the wave in, because nobody can stop them as of right now. But the Aatrox is trying to trade back, takes the top lane inhibitor, but now gets kicked into the face, as we've seen onto the minimap. And now the Yuumi is a lone Simcat. And with the Yuumi and the Aatrox get, there's just no way or any hope to defend this because the Ezreal will just instantly kill somebody. He has Elder, he doesn't really have to shift in, he just look at them, auto attack, 50 billion K damage. Now the ult comes in, will this one hit? It does hit, it's a double kill, 2 for 1, or was it? Yeah, it's a 2 for 1 special, because why the hell not? And we will hop straight over into the second game in a few seconds after we take a good look at the runes, because most of the time he's showing runes here. So here we go, here with the runes, the setups of the different players. We see a different variation here, bloodline. Also, Death Stance, I cannot really say I recommend this. I cannot say I recommend this. I'm much more happy about the setup we just seen the guy run in the game. Anyways, let's hop over to game number 2. Okay, we are indeed back again for another Ezreal gameplay. We have a Kai'Sa Karma into an Ezreal Ornn. So they have the lane dominance. We do not really have the ability to do anything here, but we can still safely scale without any problem. You see the win rates of that guy in the top left. It's really crazy though, and just makes you like think like, I really wish we could play a lot more competitive in the European scene. As in, we queue up with multiple people and play against multiple people, and not people abusing the system to play an Emerald when they play for Sovereign LP. That would be very sad. Now we see the enemy is not really capitalizing on their lane advantage in the early game. They're just playing backline. The Ornn is walking in, not giving a single damn, flashing forward because the enemy doesn't really have any tools left. And they actually get the kill, which should never happen. This is an impossible thing to do. And I can give you the rundown. Karma, level 1, since she's playing against a melee champion on Ornn, which doesn't really have a gap close to level 1, can just walk up and auto attack and see what he does. And depending on the situation, she might even start with a second ability, which would then allow Kai'Sa to have 2 stacks instantly of her Plasma. And with the Plasma bonus damage, she will then just have a big chunk of extra damage onto that Ornn champion. Lee Sin is jungle clearing, and we have a mid lane casted into Yasuo matchup, and we already have a very good start here for the Ezreal. The Ezreal getting this kill is very important given the fact that he invested so many sums, and again, they have to chill a bit, and if anyone overextends, like if the Ornn hits like the first ability, sets up the play, goes in for a knockup, nicely coordinated, the enemy's not expecting this. It looks like a solo queue into a duo queue situation here. Like you see the Ornn places down the little pillar. He can then just input the charge slightly before the pillar comes up, and then the moment it comes up, he will then connect with the pillar. And if that happens, they will just immediately get CC'd and take so much damage because the Ornn damage isn't even that low. If Ornn hits you with the entire rotation of your spells, he just blows you up. Ornn keeping the Kai'Sa away out of the minion wave, denying her any XP. You see such a massive gold lead. And now the Lee Sin is also here. Look at the relentless aggression being showcased. And with all this gold lead, it's just a matter of time now. What will happen? Will the bounties come in very early and then they have a bounty situation? And how can they facilitate this lead into something even more? Because he now picks up a tier, he has Gluttonous Greaves, he has another longsword, he has a lot of extra AD, whereas the enemy doesn't really have anything, not even levels, and they'll take on this tower very soon. And afterwards, they should be running around the map even more and swap with their other respective laners to gain even more of an advantage and even more gold. They just want to make sure that the Kai'Sa isn't left alone to freely farm and to take down tower platings. That is something you don't want to happen because you are the one being in the lead. You want to make sure to stay in the lead and to deny the enemy as much as possible. Lee Sin going for invade onto the chicken camp. The Yasuo is not reading the situation completely correct here. And now they just continue blasting this tower. Going for a little poke ultimate here, as it seems, hits the Kai'Sa, decent damage, this is a massive level lead. And Kai'Sa stuck on the tower, not even being able to play the game. It's getting really rough for them here. They feel really starved. Like the Kai'Sa is mentally forfeiting here. Gets knocked up by the Ornn, gets fully comboed. The Ornn triple brittle giga combo. The assassin mage giga chat. Oh, has to flash out because the Ornn stopped tanking. And now they return just one auto attack. Come on. Oh, the Ornn is on the hunt. Ah, boop. And she is a goner. Meanwhile, the Ezreal is like, Brother Ornn, why did you stop tanking? Can we have a quick talk here? You just forced my flash. I do not like this. But yeah, look at just look at the overall like power of the Ornn support pick, coming out very clutch if enemies are not expecting the combos. Because Ornn still has a lot of damage. Like, remember, his damage got nerfed quite significantly a few times, but it's still a lot of percentage max life damage. Now the Ezreal collects the Monomune, has the full upgrade, buys another longsword, and now walks into the middle lane to deny the Kassadin from scaling, taking away his gold. Yasuo in the meantime is doing the chicken camp, and now the Kassadin is stuck against a ranged champion and an Ornn champion that can just facilitate a dive. And yeah, they can just continuously run down mid lane unless they get ganked. But this seems like not really an option because it's a Shyvana. She has to have ultimate to get that one. And now turns onto the Shyvana in the river. Big damage by the Ezreal. He's ridiculously fat. The Shyvana is ultimate now. Fully stacked the passive. 18 seconds until Dragon. Every chip damage now matters significantly for the Dragon. Because Dragon provides... Ooh, he cancelled the home guard from the Kassadin. Pretty cool. He's pissed. And again... Shyvana doesn't need dragons anymore. She gains more stacks from killing dragons compared to killing Herald, but she doesn't need the dragon anymore. So, very big change. The Shyvana gets killed, hunted down by the Lee Sin in the enemy jungle, but now the enemy team is collapsing onto him. Flashes away, the Kassadin comes after, it's not enough. Ooh, he's waiting for the moment, Kassadin needs to jump. Oh, the combo comes in by the Ornn, they didn't get the kill. But now the Yasuo goes in for a play. A big combo onto the Kai'Sa, finishes the Kai'Sa. The Ornn is bloodthirsty. He has had enough. He doesn't want to deal with this. He just says, nope, you are dead. Meanwhile, the Lee Sin is dealing with the dragon, and they go for a full rotation towards the Herald. Will be picking up the Herald. And you see it's a clear domination during the early stages of the game. An absolute massacre, one might say. And this entire game has most of the time been completely determined by the Ornn, which just showcases how much of a difference a good support makes. Support is such a broken and important role, and sadly it rarely shows how insane this role is, and it really requires you to, number one, play well, number two, have somebody with you that also plays well. Now the Ornn turns into his secondary jungle, making sure to assist the Lee Sin, because that's what support does, and once there's nothing to do, he just comes back to mid lane, keeps his AD carry safe, goes for a little dive here. The Ezreal is not on the same train of thought, now just jumps into the Kai'Sa, kills her instantly, 300 gold, but this one was definitely not something he wanted to do. Yeah, you get one kill, but what was the purpose of getting that one kill? Because if you go that deep into Shyvana, the Shyvana will then kill you, and then if Shyvana is snowballing, all of the previous things you've done will be thrown out the window. The Shyvana just got 1100 gold from just these 2 kills. Not only this, she will also be left alone to farm, so she will be actually scaling. And Shyvana could potentially carry a game. If she gets too fed, she will become a force that you cannot kill fast enough. Because the Yasuo seems to go for the tank build. You have a Set, you have a Lee Sin, and an Ornn, so you do not really have the most insane damage. And if the Shyvana gets too tanky, she might be able to actually get away with this game. The Kai'Sa is walking around in absolute agony. What did you guys do to me? Why? And it's absolutely relatable. Trinity Force, a major item pickup for the Ezreal being ready in base, literally doubling the damage of the Spellblade proc. Look at the damage we already have here. And the attack speed is also such a nice thing to have. Ezreal got so many attack speed buffs, and since running Kraken has been so dominant on him, attack speed gained more value. So even making the argument of running Blade now is something I could definitely understand, especially in the context of the increased health bars. Like, if a champion has like 2000 more health right now, then obviously Blade becomes a lot more powerful. Nice ultimate by the Ornn, nice ultimate combo by the Ezreal. They're getting all these kills here, getting 2 kills easily picked up. Jack's only worth 150 gold into the pocket. There's like 3 minions, and the Herald has spawned topside. They didn't even need Herald for a single plating. The Herald will probably get another charge for the base, unless, ooh, the Kassadin jumps in to get that one, but the Kai'Sa again instantly dies being spotted by the enemy. She's just not having fun. The Set is BMing for fun, just a tiny bit here. And the question is, will the Shyvana, ooh, he's stacking up the grid passive. Bro, what? I mean, I get why, but exactly why? And now the Jax jumps into the Set's forehead, and they have to just give him up. They just have to let him die. Sorry, this is how it goes. I mean, he just stood in front of the tower to get the grid passive stacked, and then just do something funny. But why? What was the purpose of this outside of just flexing? But I mean, if you think about Set as a champion, I guess flexing is exactly the point he wanted to make. Ooh, remember the top left Ornn passive? Something I always forget about because my eyes never just look at the things like I can purchase, because I just look at my gold and be like, okay, I can purchase this, and then just completely forget that I could just actually buy it. Ornn popping ultimate, hitting the Jax here. Jax pops the counter-strike, but it will not be enough. He'll be locked on for 15 years, and there's just no chance for him to escape that kind of play. And the Ezreal is getting dangerously close towards his Blade Rune King. And in all honesty, even though the Shyvana comes in with the Kassadin, it's a rundown situation. They have to be really careful. Excellent, the Shyvana hits the Kassadin, uses flash ultimate, going closer. Karma walks after them. Another flash coming in. The Kassadin Rift Lord's even closer, gets another kill down here. The Ezreal misses onto the Shyvana. She this is 1 HP. Nice kick into the face of the Kassadin into the Karma. I'm going double time again. And then we have a kill pickup by the set onto the Shyvana. The Kassadin is still surviving, running away. Karma gets away as well. Not much happening. They'll pillage the enemy jungle. Quick little red buff transfer into the pockets of his team. It's getting kind of a more deathmatch oriented game right here, because they really need, like, this is the biggest issue. If you are too far ahead, this keeps on happening, because there's nothing you can do if you're too far ahead. It's so difficult to end a game unless the enemy is griefing before 15 minutes. Even if you get the Baron at 12 minutes, if you didn't take away the Nexus shield already, it's very unlikely to ending the game. And I wish they would change this. I really wish. We see a play in the jungle again. The set gets locked down, playing with the team here, sacking up the grid, walking into the back line. Ezreal hammering away at the turret. Shyvana in the mid lane, Jax in the top lane, as well as the Kassadin. They're now bleeding turrets left and right, but whatever they do, even if they die for a turret right now, there's not much that changes, right? Because it's still only 11 minutes into the game. There's nothing that can happen. You rarely end the game here. The set is fighting mid lane. Nice ultimate by the Ornn. The Ezreal ulti sadly mids. Ooh, he actually dies to the Kai'Sa, but we get a trade back on the other side on the map. Okay. Gotta be really careful. Like, this Ezreal is a vital factor for this game, and any death in the next 30 seconds will certainly contribute towards a potential Nasher. And if they all die, you can end the game, yes. But yeah, so my prediction is they will get the Nasher, the enemy team will suicide into them, and then they randomly end the game. Something like this. Oh, Shyvana is ulting onto the side lane, onto the Yasuo. We just saw it on the minimap. Running down the Yasuo, this will be an instant Baron situation because the Shyvana is out of place. It's a 12-minute Baron, so it dies instantly. Just take a look at the HP, but it instantly, look at it evaporates. The enemy is not even in a position to do anything about this. There are not even waves available. The set is making time on the other side of the map, wasting that time. He gives away kills, but it doesn't really matter too much. The lead is left alone with the Baron right now because nobody's there to contest it, because they want to deny the shutdown on the mid lane. Jax now being absolutely picked apart. Lee misses his Qs, but it doesn't really matter. On the other side of the map, the Ezreal should have used ultimate to cancel their recalls down there, because then they could go for a full-blown rotation down and maybe get something done. They only get the Karma right now. The Karma pickup will be absolutely free. It's no problem. And then they have to do something with the Nasher. The thing is, they might get one inhibitor tower here, which would be very big already if they just play together. Alternatively, it's not too big of a loss if they don't get any inhibitor right now, because the next Baron, it's very unlikely that the enemy team can contest the next Baron unless the Ezreal is caught by the Kassadin and getting one shot at that point. So yeah, even if you don't get anything with the first Baron, you got it denied from the enemy and you get the gold, so it's good enough. Big damage coming in, the Jax jumps in, the Jax is just not tanky enough, the Ezreal just takes quick care of him, 150 gold into the pocket, not really much anymore. Set is pushing the side lane, in the mid lane the Lee Sin and the Yasuo having fun, Shyvana jumps in, having the fun time of her life, but now the Ezreal is like, nope, I don't want to associate, I'll just clear the side lane tower. One inhibitor into the favor of the Ezreal, now they get another inhibitor into the favor of, ooh, they actually did it? Okay, they do. And this marks probably a third inhibitor right into their hands. Now the enemy is not even capable of doing anything about. Nice ultimate by the set jumping into the Nexus. The ultimate by the Ornn comes in as well, knocks down multiple people, and this will be just a free pickup and the game will end here. And with that, we're at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Check out the channel description below, and we see each other for more RiftGuides content very soon. Bye bye.